Hi everybody, I want to talk today about how to create a data table for data collection when you're working with Google Docs and Google Sheets. So the first lab where you needed to do this is the Scientific Method Practice Assessment, or as we call it, the COIN Lab. What you need to do when you're in this data collection section is click so your mouse has a flashing cursor, and you're going to go up here to Insert. And you are creating a data table, so you want to go to Insert Table. And when you hover your mouse over Table, you can see this little grid pops up on the right-hand side. So you need to figure out how many cells you're going to need for your data table. You're definitely going to need one column for your independent variable and another column for your dependent variable. And depending on how you structure your data table, whether you're adding the words penny, quarter, nickel, etc., you might need to have 3 columns. Then for rows, you need to figure out how many rows you need total, and you will keep on scrolling down. So let's say I need a 3x4 data table. Now I'm not telling you if this is the correct data table for this lab, because part of your job on this lab is to figure out what size your data table is. What you want to do with this data table is once you figure out what size you want it, let's say I have a 3x3, you're going to click on that and it'll automatically enter your data table in here. When creating a data table, you want to make sure that your data table has a title, right? Including units, right, for all of the top row. Then your data is going to go in the next couple rows depending on how much data you have. Something I want to show you is when you are doing data in order to get it to graph properly in Google Sheets, you need to make sure that your units are up here in the title of your data table and not down here next to your number. Because if you just have numbers in your data boxes, your graph's going to turn out correctly. If you include the units in your data boxes, you're going to have problems with your graphing. In order to graph, I recommend that you go take a look at the written directions for graphing in Google Sheets, which is located in your Google Classroom, and that will help you how to do a graph. And last but not least, for your CER, you have notes on this. We did a practice with the FizKeeper Lab, and some people didn't realize this. Down here at the bottom is a claim evidence reasoning rubric. Tells you exactly what you need for your claim. It needs to be clearly stated. It only answers a question. You're not including data here. And it doesn't explain. There's no because. Your evidence needs to be relevant to the claim. It needs to be appropriate. It needs to include quantitative and or qualitative data. In this lab, you have plenty of quantitative data from your diameter and your drops, and you also have qualitative data if you look at the trend line in your graph. You need to also make sure your evidence is accurate. Don't round. If we are going out to the 10th position, for example, everything should be out to the 10th position. So it shouldn't say 4 centimeters if it's actually 4.1 centimeters. You want to be accurate. And last but not least, the reasoning section has these 4 steps. You need to do all 4 steps. This should take you between 4 to 5 sentences, maybe 6, but you need to do all 4 things to get your full credit. Again, we did exactly this for the FizKeeper Lab if you would like to look back at that. I hope that this video helps you make a data table and a little bit of hints on your graph and your conclusion section. And you guys can have a great day.